What else are we going to look at? Well, it might be almost time to say hello to Pepper. Mate, are you there? He may be AFK. I'm not hearing... Oh!
I am here in the studio with you now.
There we go. I just have your voice even working. That's always a miracle. G'day, mate. Good to see you. Good to work with you.
Well, thank you for having me. It's really gracious of you to have me join you on this stream with our two favorite teams, Chimera, or is it Chimera and G13?
That's it, Chimera and G13. Absolutely, mate. Now, you're, of course, streaming in your own right today, and you're running a pre-show there as well. And then, look, we're going to... What are we doing? Just walk me through how we've got this set up today. We'll get to looking at it shortly, but how have we set it up, mate? What are we actually going to be showing the viewers at home?
Well, we have a dual cam setup happening today, and so I'm going to have a persistent point of view from your stream, which everybody can catch at twitch.tv/Noppers20. And I believe you're going to have a persistent camera of my stream, and we're both going to be able to go back and forth between our points of view, as well as sharing both of the maps at the same time during those crucial moments in the game.
All right, so what's your Twitch handle, mate, please? Is it just Pepper?
It's twitch.tv/TL_Pepper.
TL_Pepper. I'm going to try and see if that shouts out for me. Oh, look at that. It actually works. Excuse me. And I apologize to your viewers if you're, I'm not sure if you're actually live on yours yet with sound, but I'm post-COVID, so yeah, it's going to be a little bit dodgy. So, mate, you do a lot of streaming around the Glow and 13th Legion teams, don't you? Can you give us a little bit of a background there? What's your involvement with those guys? We're just watching, by the way, on my screen, I'm watching that the tab with all the teams actually filling up now. So that's good.
Yeah,
you're just getting ready.
From a flip in probably any minute, really. It's 50 players from Glow and 13th Legion are in, 34 from Chimera. So it's looking like they're ready to flip for the warm-up pretty soon. But yeah, a little bit of background on Glow and 13th Legion. They are a newer team. Being a North American mainly based team, I'm trying to follow them throughout their season in the minors and, cast most of the games so they have a catalog and, they can start building some strats as a new team. As far as I understand, 13th Legion has been around for some time. They used to be 107th. And they joined forces with, with Glow a month ago, just before. So
they're a new collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they only had 4 or 5 games together as a collaboration, and Glow has never seen competitive combat before, so this is their first season. Before that, they were more of a community-focused clan, and 13th Legion also is kind of new within the year, but the same guys kind of carried over from 107th to make 13th Legion. So all in all, really, like on paper, it's pretty well all new, and so I think it's just nice to be able to follow them throughout their season and give them a catalog of VODs that they can refer to help build their strats for next year and things like that, right?
Yeah, very much the same for the way I'm doing the Chimera support. So I'm not part of any clan. I don't belong to anybody. I'm independent. My focus is on the Hell Let Loose community and trying to really grow that competitive scene and that community stuff. So I stay out of any of the clan politics that may or may not exist in any clan, in any server. That's why I'm independent. But given that I'm Oceanic and Chimera are an Oceanic team, so Australia, New Zealand, I look to focus on them for this tournament, of course. It makes sense. And but look, I'm trying to get involved with some of the other teams and build my content knowledge as well. I've streamed a few of the friendly matches that different people have played, but I haven't worked with Glow and 13th yet, so I'm really interested to hear some of those insights that you provide on your team today. And of course, you'll hear me talking about the Chimera guys a little bit. Who are your key players, mate, from the Glow 13th? Who are the people that I should be going, all right, I'll keep an eye on him or her because they'll be doing cool stuff?
Yeah, some main guys to keep your eye on is PT is Free, Peace, Night Fox, Josh B, Honey Badger, Screaming Meme. These guys are all they've all been kind of veteran in comp from 13th Legion, you know, as they carried over from 107th. You know, these guys are kind of some of the more experienced players on the team that are going to be, you know, bringing their squads into those crucial areas. And
PT is free. I've seen him in the Friday night fights, mate. I know I have. So he's been joining the Oceanic ones. I guess he's getting a little bit of insider information on how the Chimera guys play there, because a lot of them playing in the Friday night fights. But yeah, he's a very good player. I've watched and cast matches with him in it a couple of times. So he's definitely someone I've seen before. Be keeping an eye on. I love some of the names here, though, man. There's some really, really good names. That Honey Badger, that's just got all sorts of negative connotations in Australia with the bloody Bachelor. So whatever. All right. Let's have a quick talk about some of the Chimera players that I'm going to be looking for today. Entice, an absolute machine when it comes to getting around the back lines and really working stuff for the commander. So you'll see Entice doing some good works there. There's a bloody plane flying over right next to me at the moment. I'm just going to get away from that. So that's a start point there. Electro, again, same sort of thing. Road Rage, for those that remember the last stream. Holy shitbags, they're flying everything over at the moment. I need to turn that audio down. These guys we watched at the last match with some phenomenal kill numbers. There's 60 or 70 people they were killing each. So Electro, Road Rage, Pelletless. The numbers were incredible, mate. I've probably got some old stats here. And there was a slaughter fest for some of those guys. Now, you'll watch Road Rage will actually be working really, really hard on the artillery from Glow and 13th. And he will hold up. He was holding up, I think, 5 or 6 players from the 20th and 10th last week by himself. So they were on artillery trying to clear him out, and he was by himself holding him up, and he was just killing them. And they were watching their mates die, and then they were just getting shot. It was very good. He's a very, very good player. I don't like being on the other side from him, that's for sure. So we're going to see that again because he's in a sniper role today. Kelter's one of the leaders of the clan. He tends to play as a solo player a lot, no matter what he's doing. He's in the squad today. I'll be interested to see how that goes down. But a very, very good individual player there, but he also works great in the team. You'll find him wandering around Wheatfield and stuff, though, lying down a bit. I'm not sure. He does a lot of thinking, I believe. Caledonius, very good on anti-tank. We'll watch some good play from him, hopefully, today. Anger and Panic, that's a good squad there. Love squad. So Jam, Milk, Fable, Anger and Panic. That is going to be one of the attacking squads for sure. Anytime Jam's in the game, he is up at the front line shooting at stuff and throwing grenades. And that squad he's got with him, they're some of the 60 or 70 kill players from last week. So looking forward to that. And, of course, shouts to Candy Rocks, who's a fellow streamer. She streams all sorts of cool stuff like Tarkov and Rainbow Six and things like that. But she's in there today as a rifle lady and usually an engineer hanging on the back of the tanks as well. So I'll watch how she plays. So they're my key players for today, mate. This I think it's going to be a good matchup here, man. What do you think? Where do you think this is going to go? Do you want to do a match prediction straight off?
I don't really want to jinx anything, but I really hope to see G13 show what they're capable of today, and I really want to see this turn out to be a full game, one way or the other. I don't want any kind of 5-0s one way or the for either team. I want to see a full game of Hell Let Loose, where we see action-packed frontline, moving back and forth across the map. However, I have played Chimera, and they are a very strong team, and poor G13 has been going up against some of the strongest teams in the minors right off the hop for the first couple of weeks of the minors HCA. So, soft prediction of Chimera taking home a W, but I'm very hopeful for G13. I really hope that they bring out some seriously impressive strats today, and we are up to 100 players in the server, so I can expect that we're going to be flipping the map.
It's got to be. Just watching a really interesting play going on here in the Chimera backlines, mate. There's smoke and shit everywhere, so they have a bit of fun, as you said before. Look, I don't know which way this is going to go, because you've got some really big players on the Glow 13th side there, as we do, of course, on Chimera. It's pound for pound, though. We've got to assume that both teams have got a fairly even spread of top shelf players, mid-range players, and average players. So it's going to come down to some of those strats and tactics. Now, today's commander is VK again on the Chimera side. And who have you got on yours again? I read his name out before.
Sidious from 13th Legion commanding on the Allies today.
Let's find his name here. What's this? Oh, Sidious. There he is. Okay, no worries. So he's yeah, okay. Here's the map change, mate. So we are about to get going here. So I'm going to pop across to my live and pointer screen. Yeah, the shooting has occurred here. The shooting of excitement, ladies and gentlemen. It is 18 seconds before we get going here. The map is Utah. That's what we're playing on today. I'll be really fascinated to see what the cap point is going to be for the first one, because Utah has so many different options. I do love Utah as a map. It is a great map to play on, and you know, there's all sorts of different gameplays you can play. Lots of open field type stuff. There's lots of tight stuff. So, yeah, and the point is win 4. Mate, I'm going to talk about Bunnings today. Do you know what Bunnings is?
I don't.
All right, so in Australia, we have a warehouse hardware store set up called Bunnings, and that's the big one. It's what we all go and get our hardware for. We got Mitre 10, we've got Bunnings. It's probably worth Googling if anyone wants to know what the hell I'm talking about. Bunnings Warehouse is where you buy your hardware, all right? Now, ironically, Bunnings Warehouse looks exactly like these buildings up here. So we colloquially call this Bunnings, this pair of buildings at Win 4. This is Bunnings. So you're going to hear me say Bunnings a whole bunch of times. It'd be like saying Walmart for the United States, or for you're from Canada. So what would it be? What would be the equivalent be in Canada, mate?
It would be like Home Depot or
Home Depot. Absolutely. There's your Home Depot, mate. So they're fighting over Home Depot for the start today. All right. I know we need to go to the maps and have a look straight up. So let's start our first split screen thing here and get our maps up. What do you reckon? Does that sound good?
Sure. Yeah. Let's have a look.
All right. So you go, mate. It's all you.
Nice layout. So right now, what we're going to be seeing are the squad leaders hopping into our transports, getting to the front line, putting the OP down, ready for the people building nodes to redeploy and catch up to the trucks. They're going to be staging to assault Win 4 today at the middle. This point is surrounded by barbed wire. It slightly favors the Allied side, as the strong point is fully in the F column. However, there is a massive killing field in the E column to the west side of Win 4. So the Axis have a little bit of trouble pushing into it. Offset layout today. So this is going to be a very interesting match.
Yeah. And now I'm just going to sort my stuff out here. I'm just putting up those little header bars that I like to run. So Bunnings, or Home Depot, as we're calling it here, look, it's always a big fight. It's always a big fight. But you'll notice one of the big things I like to point out, and I probably should just scroll that in a little bit here. When you come in from that east flank where I'm circling now, there's a lot of
network, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there to push in from that side. On the left side, because of this barbed wire, it really does thin out the options here. So if Chimera don't get into the back of Bunnings straight away, they're going to have a tough time trying to get across this open field or paddock area here. And there's a lot of open terrain out this side. I tend to find the right-hand side of the map is a little bit more closed, gives you a little bit more push-up path. I'm just going to go back to my main screen here, mate, and just show that in the visuals. So there's that sort of closed area there. This is a little bit more open at that side. All right, back to the two maps, I think, mate, because we want to actually watch these trucks come in, don't we?
That's right. Yeah, we have our opener happening already here.
Right, there's a full truck from Chimera up the top there. We've got half a truck just slightly south of it. Medium tank coming in. Chimera, of course, are on the Axis today. So that's a Luke's coming in up the top there with a Panzer IV. There's a supply truck mid, a big truck full of people in the middle area of the map as well. A couple of the scouts coming in south, and then the recon. Talk me through what you got over that side, mate.
Yeah, we have 3 transport trucks heading in. very nicely spread out on the top, middle, and bottom of the Win 4 barbed wire wall. A fourth transport looks like it's going south to the little, what I like to call Grandma's house, an F4 at the very south edge of the sector. Meanwhile, we have our light tank and recon tank taking a wide flank down the south, and the medium is going to back up the infantry on the front. And I'm just about ready to get into the action here. We should have the trucks unloading now.
That's it, action time it is, mate, and you can see a couple of trucks there straight up from Glow 13th coming straight into the middle of the point. They've gotten in there quicker from that middle sector. Watching up north, though, they've definitely got the upper hand here. There's the 2 Chimera trucks, mate, that have come in around the back there, and they've got in behind that barbed wire. But the Glow guys are coming in from that north area pretty quick, and they've pushed up there pretty hard. There's that preset artillery that I would always expect, of course. Here's the truck around the back of the Chimera guys now, right on them. Run over Mav. Truck's getting hit by a Luke's. A few guys died up to the north there. We can see there's real trouble here for Chimera already, because Glow and 13th have spread out in a nice wide circling flank. But there's that Luke coming in to try and change that lot for Chimera. They're inside Bunnings itself. It's an even point at the moment. No one capping because the cap weight is equal there. What have you got down south as well? There's a bit of a battle down south there, mate. I can see. I'm going to flick across to that now. We've got a better push from Chimera down south than what Glow have got. So it's a trade here where Bunnings is being mostly taken by Glow, but down south is the Chimera guys have taken that out. What do you think this is going to look like, mate, from the south here? Do you think the Chimera guys are going to be able to push Glow out of the point early from the south, or is Glow going to be able to hold it?
Oh, I think that it's looking really bad for Glow in the south right now. This house is very important for Glow to hold. Some of their main approach into the point is from the south, and this house is great for access to hold that off from the allies. So we want to see them trying a little bit harder to get control of that. They have rolled a tank up, though, to assist. So let's see if the tank can hold the opening between the south house and your barn houses. I can't remember what you call those.
You can call them Home Depot, mate. We'll understand what that is in the Oceanic area. Glow 13th have definitely got this, as I said before, jam squad in the front attack there. You can see him right in there. But he's in a lot of trouble inside that building because, yeah, there he goes now. One guy left now, of course. Glow 13th have taken the point here. Chimera haven't been able to get that cap weight in early enough. And they do have, as I said before, a little bit of trouble coming in from this side because they've only got really that one attack line to come in, whereas you can see the Glow guys came in across almost the entire screen here. But map control or sector control, quite important, quite vital, and that's what we're seeing from the Glow guys, that they are getting that map sector control north, but Chimera have got the mid-sector control, and that's probably going to be an interesting play. Mate, do you want to just bring the maps up again quickly here? Because I'd like to have a look at what that looks like on the map. So talk me through there. You can see there are a bunch of garrisons on the Chimera side out the back, straight up. So there's good sector control from them, giving them spawn options. What about Glow there, mate? I can see a few Garys popping in.
Yeah, we see a nice Gary spread from Glow as well. They have one at the north, one at the south. Typically, I like to see another one in the middle, so we have 3 to launch off of for the middle point, but they have a strong outpost line within the barbed wire. So they've been able to move their front line to the west side of Win 4, which is where you want to be to hold off the German forces. And I see that you do have a light tank in the north sector fighting off. Oh, looks like he just got destroyed.
No, he just got destroyed. So I was looking at that, I'm like, where the hell the tank?
I was about to look. So there's a cap already for G13. So that's an ally.
That's where. How far are we into the map now? Let's have a look. We'll just bring this back up.
It's in, and we have soft pressure already on the 4th at Le Grand Creek. Looks like it's contested right now. Recon is balancing that out. Glow bite-sized is balancing that with one of the squad leads for Chimera, Hullabill.
Yeah, won't be too much of a problem. That's just a recon play there, so I'd expect the recon guys to be doing that, putting a little pressure on the point for the Glow 13th guys to make some of the Chimera come back. But I don't expect to see any more Chimera come back. Hullabaloo and Jungo should be able to hold that. But there's a lot of pressure on this south sector for Glow 13th, and what we're looking at now on my screen, of course, and just the shouts here, of course. So up in the top right corner is what we call Pepper Cam, and I do enjoy it. Pepper Cam is awesome. So that's it's a little bit off actually on that image, mate. Just give me a sec here. I'm going to fix that. So Pepper Cam is a little thing that we did to, I guess, give the viewers a little bit of excitement for what we're actually streaming. And then, of course, the flip side of that, which I will bring up shortly, is the alternative where Peppercam is the main screen, and it looks pretty good, mate. And then mine's the bottom left on my screen. I believe you've got the opposite of that on yours, correct?
Yeah, I do. I have your Knoppers cam up in the top right, and I can flip it over to you for an overview, and then you can still see the up-close action down in the corner as we're looking at your bird's eye view.
All right, there's been a big development here, mate, while we've been looking at fancy screens and things like that, and that is the Glow guys have really pushed against Chimera in that southern, or it's really the mid-sector of the map. It's just here, I'm looking at it now. They've pushed out, they've pushed hard, and they've killed everything that Chimera have thrown at them in that area. Well played there from the Glow 13th guys to take back that sector control. Bunnings, of course, being well and truly held by Glow 13 at the moment. There was an anti-tank gun southwest of that point from Chimera, but it's getting shelled to the shithouse at the moment. I can see some tank fire coming out. That would be, what's that, a 75 or 76 on the point there, mate? Just getting hammered now by something.
Let's look at the map side by side right now. Looks like we have a Sherman medium in the point that just got destroyed. That's going to be...
It's a Panther coming in around the back there. Absolutely. Sorry, I missed your two map thing there. There's the Panther came in. So the Panther is a lethal little tank. And it's come in and smashed that 75. That's going to make a difference when it comes to this push now that Chimera are trying to push in from. They're doing a frontline direct west push. They've got so much open terrain to come across there in front of us. And, of course, the barbed wire fence means that they're going to be funneled into a couple of points. And Glow 13 are smart enough, hopefully, to cover those funnel points, choke points, whatever we would call them. Candy Rock there, you can see... both on your screen and mine, she's down behind that Panther doing the repair. So she'll be the running repairer and infantry support for that tank. And it worked pretty well from last week, and they're going to stick with that. I've been screaming at people in every game that I ever watch, mate, that I cast, to please, dear God, stop running tanks forward without infantry support. Is that something that you notice a little bit? Tanks with no infantry supporting it?
Oh, for sure. That's something that I think G13 has been ringing on quite a bit in their practices, that they do want the infantry to be a little bit more conscious of where the tanks are and do their best to give them some support when they are near them. Yeah, and that's something that I think we're going to see them focus on today.
Sorry, I had a little cough there. Well, they've got a pretty good line here at the moment. Here comes a bombing run. Let's check whose that is. That's a Chimera bombing run. So they're going to try and crack open the point here and throw it across, I would assume, a garrison. They've picked somebody up there on the way through, unlucky enough to be running across the middle. But Bunnings offers protection from bombing runs. Misfit, somehow Misfit, did not get picked up in that French. Luckiest person alive right now. It's thinned out the point a little bit, and there's a Chimera wave coming in up north there. I can see supplies dropping over the back there looks like from Glow, and there's a bit of pressure on the southwest garrison as well, mate. Let's bring up the two maps if we can, please, and have a bit of a look at what's going on there. You can see a bit of cap pressure starting to come in now, and it's blinking. So the point is contested. I call it blinking when the point goes from blue to red to, when it's going backwards and forwards. So there is cap weight coming in from that south, and I want to go over and have a look at who's actually there now, mate, because that looks like a Glow push from the south. How many we got? Yeah, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, that's a decent push coming in onto the La Grande Crique area from Glow 13. Chimera are going to have to respond to this rapidly because they've got quite a few Glow 13 coming in from that bottom area. Now, we just saw on that map where those garrisons were under pressure from Chimera, and they've taken one out already to the southeast, so some of that sector control being lost, and there's the cap turn starting to occur. This is going to take the pressure off of Bunnings, win 4, but Bunnings, Chimera are going to have to respond to this, and they don't have a lot of options here. They've lost one Gary, and the other one is locked. You can see VK around the back. They're trying to clear that Gary. He will have just realised there's more than one person out that way, possibly. So trouble here, mate. Pepper, trouble for Chimera, mate.
Sorry, which for Chimera?
Trouble, absolute trouble for Chimera right now on this point.
Trouble, yes, very bad trouble. Looks like Shmoo is in the back here. He's set up some spawn points for his team to reinforce, and they're putting constant pressure. But actually, right now, looks like Chimera is winning a cap race.
And there's another one going on. Yeah, absolutely, mate. So while we're watching that,
in the north,
well, that bombing run.
An AT gun also set up in the north side, and it's helping close the point right now.
Yeah, and that's coming after that bombing run, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And like this AT gun set up perfectly to try to stop all of this infantry pushing in from the west side into the kind of main road. But I mean, they're getting past it. There is also a heavy tank now, but looks like Chimera is taking care of Bunnings. They're starting to take over.
There's not many.
Looking good.
There's not many in it though, mate. It was ones and twosies there for a moment in that blinking of the point. So it turned back to contested, then it goes back to Chimera's favour, back to contested. At the moment, Chimera do have cap weight coming in, and they've spawned in a few. I reckon you're going to find, though, that Glow would have a few map options there in relation to spawn points. You can see the pressures come off of that La Grande Creek point there, and it's sort of only just slightly being capped, and then it's going backwards and forwards as well. Glow 13 will have to start throwing some people back up towards Bunnings, and there's another little spawn coming up to the north there. La Grande Creek is still blinking though. I tell you what, this is good weight from Chimera, but I'm wondering when Glow 13 are going to respond here. They're not throwing enough at it. They've thrown a few extra. There's a few more bodies come in, but Chimera have taken Bunnings buildings, both Bunnings buildings. There's the tank getting shot. PDI, as I said, a very good player there. He's putting rockets into the back of that tank. That Panther tank, as it races north, Tiggs is trying to chase him and hold it there. Great shot from PDIs. He's hit that.
PT is free. Just did a really nice long range shot, but he did get traded.
He did get traded.
It's amazing.
This is incredible stuff. That tank's now down. Something just smashed the shit out of that. What was that? That was another tank, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Panther just rolled right up to the front. That was the Panther that PT is free got a rocket, still burning in the back of the tank, and he rolled around the corner and took out the 76. Looks like the AT gun, nobody home to take care of that Panther. So it was in the good spot, but they let it go too early.
All right, this is looking, it looked like it's going to, like it blinked again back towards Glow 13, and they throw in another spawn and there it goes, it blinks back again in their favour. They're still capping La Grande Creek. Now it's going back Chimera's way. This is tight as. This is down to a couple.
So close. They're both defending right now.
This is absolutely down to a couple of people here on the point, and Glow 13 really under a lot of pressure here. Chimera are just slowly getting worked out of the point here. They need to throw. There's another spawn wave coming for Chimera as they start to take the point again, and they trade in a favourable way with Glow 13 as Glow start to lose some people. I think Glow have probably realised that their attack is a bit stalled up there on La Grande Creek because they are losing Bunnings, and they are going to lose it unless they throw all the bodies back there. We've got about 10 players here at the moment from Glow 13, and there it goes back again to Glow and back into Chimera. This is a blinking point right now, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely anybody's right now as Chimera really try to put the pressure on. The attack's been stopped on La Grande Creek because Glow 13 have to throw bodies at this point right now, but they're not throwing enough into it, or Chimera are picking up enough players. This is going to go Chimera's way unless Glow really change it. Look at that AT gun smashing that attack from the north. It is slowing down the Glow 13 players. Chimera have got enough on the centre of the point right now. The Panther is holding it, and there it goes. It's over to Glow, over to Chimera now. Oh my goodness me, we're at exciting stuff. So we are 18 minutes into this battle, ladies and gents, and I'm already starting to get super excited because we've just had a turning point now. Glow 13 have really put the screws on there for Chimera for a while. But Chimera with a great bombing run followed up by an attack line from the northwest there. All right, let's talk about where we go from here. Where do we go from here, Pepper?
Well, let's look at the maps real quick and see how well the team's reset, right? We just saw G13 from the cap. They have a couple left in the zone, but most of the squad leaders are having to reset to these garrisons, and it looks like most of the sector control is owned by Chimera right now. So G13 needs to reestablish the front line if they have a hope in holding on to Hill 5 right now.
There's some interesting stuff going on there, isn't there, mate? I'm just looking at your map. And you can see, look, there's still pretty good sector control for that defensive line down the golf column for Glow 13. Chimera just starting to get their garrisons up and everything now, and they're getting back to that same sort of sector control. But I think it'll just stabilise a little bit here. Well, I mean, shit, we're only 20 minutes into the battle, mate, and everyone's probably just taking a collective breath and going, okay, fuck, let's get our shit into the one sock, and then we'll start doing things. So Chimera will be doing that right now and consolidating the point, because Glow is still a pressure there. They're still pushing into it. Albeit with a little bit less weight at the moment. And back to the middle of the map, and of course, yep, as I swing around to the left there, I can see Entice and Butterdog trying to fend off an entire wave of Glow 13 as they come back into that. Well, it's not the middle of the map. I've got to stop calling that. It's the Fox 5 area. As they push in there now, try and take back that sector control and rinse and repeat a little bit, I think, here, mate, because it is the right thing to do, isn't it? Take control of that area and then start a multi-pronged attack around the point. What just happened there on your screen?
Yeah, we just saw one of the Chimera guys plant a satchel, guard it, and it did go off, destroying an AT gun that was built on the roads from the west approach into Win 4. So yeah, I mean, good job on that Chimera guy. Got a little bit of a kill streak there, and he's helping clear out the north right now. And this north house is, the first hold that you need as allies to infiltrate this point. All the other entry points have so many places you can get killed on the way in. It's very, very difficult to penetrate the point once you're pushed out of it. So this squad needs to hold the house as best they can as their heavy comes up.
I just realised I haven't changed the bloody scoreboard. I haven't got this automated, so you'll just have to bear with me there as I flick that up. I just saw a 76 coming in up north here, mate, too. That Panther's dead, isn't it? There's a rocket, a head-on rocket from Panic. He had a little bit of a panic there and put a head on. I can see the Panther around the back there where Candy Rocks is on my screen, top right corner. Oh, she just got pinged. Holy hell, someone just shot her from a long way off. So great shot, whoever that was. It might have been Teacup, I'm not really sure. Or Kipper, perhaps. But there's a bit going on up here. That 76, it knows it's taken some rockets up the north here. But you're right about this house area here. This is one of the first areas you've got to lock down if you're going to attack Bunnings. And then the second one is that house that we can sort of see at the 12 o'clock position on my screen. So for those watching, if they wonder why I talk about the clock, we call it the clock ray method. So if you imagine your screen is a clock face, 12 o'clock the top of screen, 6 the bottom, 3 right and 9 left. And that allows me to give you like target directions as we're zooming around here looking at stuff. So at the 12 o'clock position, you can see that house there in the distance, little green house there over the back of Heavenly. And that's an important area to control. So once they get those two areas, Glow 13 will be able to sort of pincer in onto Bunnings here. So Chimera actually need to clear this house out that's down in front of us right now, which they are trying to do there, knock Panic and Blackjack trying to get around behind it. But it is a hard nut to crack, that one. And of course, we've seen at that Fox 5 area of the map a constant battle going on. Because also, Pepper, there's a straight line between Hill 5 and LeGrand Creek, isn't there? So you really have to control that area to get the next cap, don't you?
Yeah, you absolutely do. That kind of is the nature of most of the caps on Hell Let Loose. Just because the cap isn't an active strong point, you still need to control some of these adjacent areas to push off from. So they are, in a way, valuable. They're just not worth cap weight value. That's really the only caveat to it.
Yeah, that's right.
G13 is doing a great job holding this north house. They're still in there, but the Panther tank, the Jumbo 76 is backing out ever so slowly. I think that the infantry is starting to spook him. He doesn't really have any kind of infantry support with him right now, so he's mostly afraid of satchels getting on the other side of hedges and things like that. People sneaking up on him where he doesn't expect it. So he's trying to back up so that he doesn't feel too much of a threat.
Yeah, just watching him on your screen there in the top right corner, of course, and he was getting pushed up on that right flank by Jam Squad, which is that aggressive squad, and Panic, very good player there. So really, I guess that's why you throw a few rockets at the tank from the front, isn't it, to try and push it back. I can see a spawn wave coming in. Mav Squad here. Mav, very good player. Lupus, very good player as well. Look, a whole bunch of good players there. Glow are really in trouble there. Glow 13 are really in trouble there. They've been wiped out of that house. So it's been a multi-angle attack on that house from... Chimera pushed out of Bunnings, mate. There's literally one person with a machine gun on Bunnings at the moment. They've pushed completely out because it is hard for Glow 13 to push into it from the direct... Well, where you can see Skarten, Schmecht, Konst, and Nick Konst, whatever his name is there, and Fender, coming across those open fields. That's the only area that's actually quite challenging to come across because of the barbed wire. So that one machine gunner there on the roof of Bunnings will be really ripping shit up as they try to come across the paddock. And Chimera have pushed, well, they're just about to kill the last of the Glow 13 there at that north house area. So that's controlled by them now, and they will now, they have to hold that area. If they let that area go at any stage, then Glow 13 will have a foot in the door to push back into Bunnings from that way. Chimera have also sort of controlled this middle of the map. They've got the church area there where Mr. Cheese is hiding right now, but there's a pressure coming in, more numbers coming in from Glow 13 than from Chimera, so we'll watch that closely because I think that's going to be the next battle. Here's a bombing run coming in by the sounds of that. So what is our next point? It's Hill 5 that we're fighting over down to the south area there. What can you tell me about Hill 5 there, Peps? What do you know about it?
Well, Hill 5, very defendable area. There's an appropriate approach from the north and a little bit more difficult one, but with a few more angles to come at it from the south. But a direct push from the chapel into Hill 5 is very difficult. There's many tiers of elevation where they can stack MGs and tanks, and you know, just the long range line of sight from the chapel into Hill 5 and vice versa, it makes that approach very deadly up the waterway and through the field.
Yep, I'm just down behind Hill 5 right now and having a bit of a look at that for our viewers, of course. And you can see, I mean, it's Hill 5, it's elevated, so we've got some nice view into the area, of course. I just saw a bombing run go in over that house to the north there, and I'm interested in your opinion on that because there was literally no infantry there to support that bombing run, mate. What are your thoughts there?
Well, if we look at the maps, I think that maybe he did it to clear a garrison. I'm looking at my map, and it looks as though garrisons are all up in those areas. So if he did try to bomb the garrison, he missed. And usually that's the only time that we see bombing runs land where there doesn't seem to be anybody else. It's to clear some sort of spawn point that has been marked on the map, or, you know, a tank of some kind.
Yeah, right. All right. I'm just checking my own stream out, of course, on the bloody... on the iPhone beside me to make sure it's working okay. And we do want to have a little bit of a shout out to everybody, don't we? So there's lots of folks now that are actually watching this. The stream has gone live because we are on a 30-minute delay. So g'day everyone, and happy Father's Day. For all those breeders amongst you out there, including myself, happy Father's Day to us. And for the mums, you know, we support your work today, but today is Dad's Day. So thanks for coming along and watching today. And it is, as someone has commented earlier, that what better to do on Father's Day than maybe sit back. It's a little bit early in the morning for a beer here, but perhaps it's certainly late enough for a beer over your side. So beer's up for everybody over there, and enjoy Father's Day and enjoy a bit of Hell Let Loose streaming. As we see that Chimera are pushing out, there's a lot of, wow, great rocket there from, I think that was Ergo that hit that northern house and wiped out a few people. Look, there's still that push coming in up to the north here. But Chimera got cap weight up there. They've got the numbers in that sector. They're holding that pretty well. Glow 13 are trying to come across this middle area here. You can see PT is free, is now on the back of that tank providing support for it. Is that a 75 or a 76? 76.
76, yeah, the big boy.
So what do you think the play is here, mate? They are coming across that open field towards... look, there's infantry on the top of buildings and stuff like that. What do you think Glow 13 is going to try and do here? I mean, they're trying that north push, and they're doing well up there, mate, aren't they?
Yeah, you know, I think that they've reestablished their front line nicely now. They've had time to kind of, you know, I think that hold in the north house inside the point gave the rest of the team enough time to get a nice spread from Hill 5 up north to AA network, and it's allowed them to get their tanks into position. We see now the infantry from Fender's squad. We got Teacup, PT is free, and Fender. They have an OP down. They've got a repair station being built as we speak, and they're going to be supporting this tank so that he can end up in a 2v1 against Panthers or whatever it is that may come his way, because their priority is to keep their armor alive right now. That's something that this team has been saying they're working on, because they've noticed that other competitive teams do that. And we are seeing a tank battle between a Panther on the north side, or maybe it was a medium. It looks like it just went down to the Jumbo 76, if you want to get on that one.
Yeah, I just saw that explosion in the distance, and it looks like it was a Panther by the look of that cam pattern. Okay, so good kill there on the Panther. And we've got Glow 13 now have actually pushed back into that northern house. They lost about 10 minutes ago, I guess. They've now picked it up and come back in. There's a couple of dead Panthers here. So good anti-tanking going on up the north from the Glow 13 guys. And that's the last something just did a 100-meter dive into the air.
Oh my God.
That was brilliant. It looked cool. Love it. Someone's just written something about something I said about half an hour ago. Having a bit of a giggle to that. One of my fellow streamers. But well done here for Glow 13 pushing into the north area here. Bit of trouble again. There's another tank though. Unknown is on the back of that tank. I'm not sure what type of tank that is. Looks like another Panther.
Okay, you get behind that Panther because I don't think the 76 sees him yet. We can get a good side battle happening with these two tanks. They're going to notice each other real quick. I see that Panther is getting ready to peek the 76.
He's got infantry. He's got infantry coming in behind him, mate. That's an assault guy. John's just been nailed by artillery. He was coming with a satchel for sure. Kipper's coming in though with either a rocket or a satchel. Let's see what he pulls out of the tool bag. It's a rocket, and he's put one into the back of that Panther. He's not going to kill it, but he's going to wake it up, and it's going to know it's got no infantry support, and of course it will no doubt be marked as well. So the 76 will be fully aware of it. Kipper now coming in looking for the second shot on the point here. Oh, it's all on here, isn't it?
The 76 is looking in that direction now, so for sure he knows where it is. He has 2 repairs on him, so he's fully back to full health. And that Panther's turning around as the 76 is trying to find an angle on him. So this might not look good for the Panther. If they can get the armor battles won, G13 could take the point back, and we could see a really exciting back and forth game on Utah Beach today.
There's another one going into the back of the Panther. That was a good shot from Panda. But it has managed to, well, what's going on here? Jesus, it's all happening right now. There's a bombing run coming in as well on that north house. So BK has thrown in from the Chimera team the fact that he knows he's losing that north area, and he's put a bombing run in. It's a very wide bombing run, though. I don't know if it picked up the garrison there, mate. It certainly missed most of the infantry. And there's smoke going in as well now. Holy shit, it's all happening up on Bunnings again. Chimera haven't pushed south at all, but they've there's a spawn wave in. Scarton's in amongst the point. He's putting a satchel in for sure. That'll be a satchel coming in from Scarton around the back of the point here, down at the bottom of those towers, mate.
Wow, can we look at the map side by side? I don't see any airheads from G13 right now. What are you seeing? Do you see any? So that was your bombing run. You got a couple repair stations up. That's good. Garrison networks are looking good. OP line is healthy, and we have a couple of different angles that G13 is trying to get into the point, but not a really connected line all the way down the map. I'm going to get back to your screen here.
The Panther just died, mate. The Panther just died in the middle of the point. I just saw it go black on the map. So it's gone as well. Something just died up the north as well. That'll be a truck, I'm guessing. Look, really good play coming on from G13 at the moment as Scarton is still on the point shredding Chimera guys. And they're all trying to deal with him as the north guys come in now. You can see Chimera starting to throw some more people back. I reckon the point's going to start turning towards G13 at the moment. There's that satchel I talked about from Scarton. It's gone off in the point there and wiped out half of the Chimera team, but it has not picked up their garrison, I don't think. No, well, there's no garrison on the point at all. Supplies coming in. VK is going to try and fix that. But there is cap rate coming in from the Glow 13 guys. Or no, I don't know. Actually, there's enough of a Chimera search because see, they've got no attack. Go back to the map, mate. I want to show you something if we can, please. Excuse me. There is a couple of players from Chimera that were running around the back here at the Hotel 6-7 area trying to set up. You can see Bravo Squad's OP down there. He'd be trying to get supplies down there and set up a garrison for the attack in on Hill 5. Once you start getting around the back area here, you really start having a bit of trouble. We'll go back to the main screen now. But yeah, so Glow really, I think they stopped him for a moment there, but that'll be one of those squad leaders I talked about earlier who are going to cause problem. There, the point's starting to blink, mate. It's starting to blink and it's going in G13's favour. So this is a good push here, Pepper, from G13.
Oh, we're seeing a garrison spawn get slaughtered in the point here. The one that's inside the north barn picked up 4 or 5 kills off that garrison wave. So Chimera is going to be panicking a little bit right now, and they're going to need to bring some guys back. And I found out that the infantry who killed the Panther was Kipper, and he is still alive and well on the point, fighting his way around in the broken buildings.
Look at that cap weight coming back into Glow.
Very long.
G13 now is starting to take the point back, mate, because they've got control of that north house again. And I'm also noticing that Fender is in that southern building there, up to the 3 o'clock position of my screen. And those are the 2 points that we talked about before. There's that spawn wave, though, from Chimera. So until that garrison goes in the middle of that building, G13 aren't going to be able to take this point. I guess, getting a satchel in there. There's some anti-tank fire or tank fire or some damn thing coming in from up the north here. That's a tank. There's another Panther up north. Okay. So, the good news, I guess, for Chimera fans is that Panther's come in at the right time. That spawn is still in that building, and the G13 attack up to the top here is also getting artilleried. That's a word, I made it up a while back. So, the combined arms, oh, nice Panther shot into that building. So that combined arms that is smashing that building up to the north is stopping the entire attack. They won't have probably taken out any of the OP. No, the OP's still up there. But it certainly stopped the attack up there. And Chimera have responded pretty quickly to a very, very good push from G13. You can see now the squad leaders spawn there where VK just died. He's found there. Is that a garrison in there? No, it was just an OP, so there's a little bit of a wipeout there. So Chimera will live to fight another day on Bunnings for now, mate. They've held off the attack, but the pressure is still up north into that building area. And until that is cleared out, that Panther and the artillery can't shift fire for an attack on Hill 5. So it's a bit of a defensive stalemate at the moment in relation to that. What have we got happening down south here, Peps, in that centre area? I see Fender's still trading with those guys in that south house, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's looking like G13 is making some good progress. I have the Dolphin. It looks like he's about to destroy a Panzer IV in the back, coming out of the main HQ for Axis. Takes a little bit of damage on the splash, but I think he's going to be able to get this one in the bag pretty easily, as long as he doesn't get shot in the back by John Tech. And there goes the Panzer IV with an instant redeploy for our AT. So, yeah, it looks like G13 is starting to slowly envelop the point. They're doing a great job at keeping that front line and pressure up on both sides to try to split Chimera into 2 different fronts, and it looks like it's working. Chimera is fully on the defense now. I don't see a whole lot of pressure happening at Hill 5. Can we check the maps and see if your flanking OP is still up? I want to see if they still have that south pressure. It looks like that one squad has just...
Yeah, there's pressure now on Hill 5 from those 1 or 2 guys. There's, Caledonius and whoever's with him, and Butterdog. Butterdog's coming in there, and Entice. Entice was the guy I told you about that'll be doing that good setup stuff around the back here for garrisons. And so that point just blinked. It just blinked briefly there for G13. So what the commander and the squad leaders and what everybody on the team will have noticed was that blink just occurred, and they'll have to pull some people back to defend Hill 5. If it blinks, it means you haven't got enough there, of course. So for just that brief moment, it was contested. And as I zoom across there, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Glow 13 players back here. G13 are back here now in numbers. What that means is that there are only 40 players on the attack, and there'll be a few on artillery and stuff, which means
and we see cap progress.
They are still getting cap progress, though. That's fascinating, isn't it? They're 10 players down on defence, and they're still able to put cap weight on here onto the point. So there's some really good play coming in from G13 at the moment to try and press back the advantage towards them. They are getting weighted, though, by Chimera. Every time there's a spawn wave from Chimera into the point here, of course, it stops that cap from occurring. But they did take a few out at the back there, and it's still... G13 have really done a good job here of getting... I mean, if you look at... and I'm just doing main map on my screen at the moment. There's a road down the middle here. There's a road down the middle here of the map. And that is, I guess, a line of defence for both teams. So G13 have managed to get into this blue zone on the right-hand side of the road, and they hold most of the advantage there. And of course, Chimera hold the left side here, and they've got their spawn back in the point. They've got the 3 caps around the back. There's a bit of weight coming in around the back here. Someone's lighting up the garrison at Delta 4. But G13, well done to them for getting in on that right-hand side of or the east side of the road there. That is map east, of course. Game east. And putting in some OPs and actually getting some weight in. I can see a Luke's. Looks like a Luke's is doing the rounds.
Chimera Lupus just put a satchel down really close to this Jumbo 76. It's just on the other side of the hedge. I don't know if it's going to be able to kill it, but it's going to at least damage it and kill the guys who are hanging out next to it with the repair station. It's not looking good at all right now for this tank position. They need to back up and make sure that, you know, that other side of the hedge is clear. So Chimera pulling out a huge defense right now against this big push on the north side for G13.
Sorry, I just saw a rocket. Oh, and it did! It picked up that tank! Amazing!
A huge satchel from Chimera Lupus. Great job on that one, man. Huge call out to you.
I can see the rockets coming in from Panda, trying to take out the garrison on the in the Bunnings buildings. But what a satchel that was from Lupus, and he still lives to fight another day. So yeah, that's really stalled that attack here on the north side from G13. There's an interesting thing here. There's another tank around the back there I can see in the 12 o'clock position. Interesting thing here. I think you and I were talking about this the other day. The map is not actually correctly compass oriented. The developers had to change it because too many people got confused about direction. They had to change it so that people could call it out better, because most people can't do map to ground versus map to compass as a skill set, I guess. So fascinating stuff. But most of these battlegrounds are actually all very close to each other, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. And now Allies just
ran up.
Jumbo 75. Lupus is about to get yet another satchel on a heavy tank, and it's backing up. He just got it down in time. Did it get on the tank, though? It looks as though he did get it on the tank underneath this little bag roll here. So we're going to see that 75 pretty quick. If he can charge this into the point, get it into that barn, he might actually take the garrison with him. And it looks like that's what he's trying to do right now. He's, if they use this tank as a bait tank to get a satchel on it and then roll in and clear the point, that is huge, because this is going to take out the garrison right now.
I wonder if they did that deliberately, man. And there it is.
Oh, but it didn't kill the garrison. He didn't get the HE off to kill the garrison on his way in, and the satchel was just too far away. I'm not sure it hits on the garrisons. Oh, man. Chimera with a huge defense right there, and they are starting to put pressure on Hill 5. Can we look at the maps and see where that pressure is coming from?
Absolutely, man. What an amazing play just happened there. I can see pressure around the back. First of all, just talk about quickly the fact that at the top left of the map there, Delta 3, there's pressure on that rear garrison. So somebody from Glow 13 is back there trying to clean that up. But we do have, there's been a very good defense.
Big bombing run coming right now on Hill 5, looks like from your team. Is that right? Or
no, that's okay, not from us.
For a defensive bombing run then from G13. I don't really see what they're going to hit. There's mostly just friendlies around here.
Oh, wow, look at that. That is an amazingly wrong bombing run.
I think that was too much of an overreaction. There's a lot of G13 on the defensive point, and they've given up the front line up in the north, so they've been fully reset back. I guess after losing both of their heavies in the point, they decided we're going to go to Hill 5, and we're going to try to defend Hill 5 until we have a couple of heavies up. And that way they can use the beach to kind of farm the enemy, get those kills up, and keep their tanks safe while they try to collect and regroup their armor.
I don't understand that bombing run at all, mate. I really don't. I mean, was the communication there in the team? Because all of those people that spawned back, surely that was being communicated. Yeah, we're all spawning back to defend this. Or the commander should have said, stop, only, one squad go back or whatever, because I'm bombing. I don't understand why 20-plus players went back and a bombing run was thrown in on literally nothing. It feels like that was a massive intelligence failure there and a communication failure. There's a fair bit going on still up to the north here. Chimera are pushing out yet again. I mean, 20 minutes after they did this previously, they're pushing out to that north area. The Panther's actually moved from the bridge to there. So it's gone hardly any distance whatsoever, because it's had to be on defense this whole time, which is fine, but it means that the attack on Hill 5 is just not going to happen. We're not even halfway through the match yet. Are you aware of that, Pepper? It's 47 minutes to go, mate.
Wow, it has been action-packed, though. Knoppers, this has been one hell of a tight game. We've seen cap progress on the fourth for both teams. We've seen both teams own the middle in the first 12 minutes of the game. And I still don't know which way this is going to go because we keep trading armor. We have a repair station now behind the Panthers, so the Axis armor is starting to look like it's getting ready to set up. We've seen repair stations with multiple allied tanks as well, so the infantry is being conscious of the armor. And, we might just see another big attempt on win 4 in a little bit, but for now, G13 is just regrouping in the south, and it looks like they're going to try a full sweep through their back lines to clear out these pesky squad leaders.
Well, just a moment here, mate. I'm just looking at something. There's a bit of a development going on up near where your 76 is, to the northeast, or directly east of Win 4, or directly east of Bunnings. A whole bunch of G13 have had to spawn in there. Where Kipper is, mate. So on my screen, I can see it in main screen, and you're looking at it nice and tight, because directly south of that, there was a push from Chimera, which is just being where Scarton and Fender are on your screen. They're just starting to get cleaned up there now by the G13 guys. They were pushing along the ridge line, the hedgerow, whatever it is. On my screen, where Anger's coming across with Jam Panic. Knox is still down there. Knox, a very good sniper. So G13 have had to respond to this set of buildings here. I mean, map-wise, it's on Hotel 4th sort of area, but they've had to respond here, and they've sent a lot of troops back. And, of course, there is, where Anger's running along now, mate, they're still pushing along there, G13 responding to that. And the tank, of course, is sort of pushed away back up to the north. But what that has meant is this defence has been pushed back to where the 76 is. So Chimera are now able to push out. They've taken that house to the northeast of Win 4, and they're just starting to take the initiative here in pushing G13 back into a defensive line, which gives them a bit of breathing space on Win 4 to try and consolidate the position. The centre of map, as I scroll down towards that, Hill 5 with a few defenders on it from G13, because they know it's been a bit of pressure. Chimera coming across the middle of the field as well. Roxo and Jonatech now coming in uncontested to the next set of buildings. G13 got a lot of work to do in that area of the map. And then down south here, it's a bit of a trade. It's going in G13's favour, with Daddy Pierce running around the back there and cleaning up a few on the chapel area. So there's a bit of G13 action going on here, where they are just trimming down the Chimera numbers slowly. But there's pressure out on the point again, and Entice, which you were looking at before, around the back of Hill 5, again looking probably to set up a spawn point of some sort. There's the last, what is it, the last something? The last. We'll just call him the last. He's on Overwatch out there to see if he can pick up folks. Down south of Hill 5, we've got 3 G13 players coming in off a garrison there, I'm guessing, to try and to clear out infantry around the back. But Entice getting nice and tight on the point here now. I love this area of the map. I really do. Let's have a look at that in the map view, shall we, mate? And you can talk us through what you can see there on those maps again.
Still seeing a strong line of garrisons from G13 with a nice flanking garrison south of the chapel sector. And it looks like that will be a push off to La Grande Creek if they do end up capping mid. OPs are really nice spread pretty much between each garrison. So we have basically a string of garrisons with OPs scattered between each garrison. So this is a really nice front line from G13. Yeah. It isn't pushing forward too much, but they're keeping it intact. Meanwhile, it looks like we have some scattered OPs and a couple of decent garrisons still up for Win 4, and a huge play with that supply truck coming around the south from Butterdog from Chimera with now they have 2 flanking garrisons in the south and an OP that's not even hot on Hill 5. So
that's
we're going to see some Hill 5 direction right now. Hill 5 is getting a little bit of the pressure on the point, so we're going to want to look at that and have a look at some of the action happening here. Chimera has 5, so it looks like a full squad on the strong point, and they're digging in right now.
Yeah.
Already rounds are starting to come down, so this battle right here could tilt the game to a 4-1 if we don't see a fallback from G13.
This is a hard take, though. I'm wondering, because we know there's a couple of really good garrisons around for G13, so they'll be throwing in now realizing that they're in a lot of trouble. I was watching that play around the back there as we were talking and as we were looking at maps as well. So watching that play around the back there, Entice had got his way all the way into the point and taken out whatever garrison and spawn points were on the point, which then put the pressure on them to start to throw some people back. And meanwhile, with that distraction, look at that spawn wave coming in around the back there. G13 have thrown enough weight back now. It's turning back in their favour. It's absolutely turning back in their favour. But there's those two garrisons now around the back. One is locked from the G13 locked that garrison, whereas it is Plangalia. Oh, thanks for that name, mate. I'm going to mangle that a few times. Plangalia is now coming around the back and putting pressure on that garrison. But they do have another one further south, so they're going to be able to keep this pressure coming in. But G13 know there's a big problem here on Hill 5, and they're throwing the kitchen sink at it and everything else as well, mate. There's a tank. There's about 20 infantry coming in. It's completely stalled the Bunnings attack. But look at that. Look at that weight now. That's shut down the Chimera guys. They know not to give Chimera an inch because they'll take the whole stick, won't they? And so G13 have absolutely shut down that attack from Chimera. There's still the pressured garrisons still around the back though. So the attack's shut down, but it's not over. So we're going to come back to that in a moment. Let's have a quick look back up north here to see what's going on. Great work, though, from G13 to respond to that threat, wasn't it, Pepper?
Yeah, I mean, we had a fallback. They're clearing the sector. This is what we wanted to see. That was a very close cap. I mean, they were over halfway. Chimera almost had Hill 5. So it's good to see that they're bringing the armor back. They're trying to conserve as many of their assets as possible. And we saw G13 defending the garrison on Hill 5 with enemies right on top of it. So they were sending rockets at their own garrison to clear it off. They were just sending MG fire, anything they could to try to clear it off, and it worked. So now they're taking up their defensive positions, but artillery is starting to land on the garrison on Hill 5, so G13 is going to need to make sure that all the flanking spawn points are dealt with before they push off of the point. But you know, definitely keeping a little bit of pressure still on Win 4 to just keep Chimera honest.
Yeah, and that's I'm going to have to go get a throat lozenge in a minute. That's still happening here up in the house. You can see Chimera yet again having to work all the way out to this house and try and shut down this northern attack area. Why is it so good up here? Because if you look down, we're going to get down right down and
this is why.
As we get down nice and close here, nice and tight, you can see well, I'll go to your screen, mate. If you just stay down nice and low for me there, what we can see is that there's a defilade. The ground is slightly lower here, which means they can put OPs and garrisons in, and you can't get Overwatch shot on it very easily. Plus, there's a few other options there. As you can see, the Glow 13 guys coming in along those hedgerows and stuff. It is so hard to clear anybody out of this area. And then, of course, there's a little trench system just for shits and giggles with some barbed wire as well, which means it's very hard where Maximus is on my screen that you can't get around. You can't get around very easily to clear it out. So whilst G13 hold that area of the map that is on main screen right now from Pepper, you will always have the pressure up here. So you've got to actually get your OP and garrison from Chimera into that area there and have you guys defending forward of that. Probably, if I go back to my screen very briefly, probably more over here where Scooty is. Get a couple of infantry between Maximus and this little ridgeline thing here, and that way, or that one there maybe, and that way you've got a forward presence and put your OP out there and your garrison back in here to fall back to if you lose this area, and all this barbed wire to stop them from coming in. You know, you've got a choke point there. So that's what Chimera need to do. But I'm just going to flick across here, Peps, because in the middle of the map, G13 not only responded well to that attack on their Hill 5 area, but they've now countered with a lovely attack in the middle, that Fox 5 from those buildings. Honey Badger, I just shudder every time I say that name. Honey Badger, they're leading the push with his buff muscles. Oh, he's been shot though. But here's a push coming from G13 through the middle of the map. They've countered wonderfully along that set of trees there where Fender, Nick and PT is Freeze coming in. So this is a good push, Pep. I'm going to throw over to you right now while I race off from my stream and actually get a throat lozenge, mate. So over to you, mate.
Okay, yeah. Well, we are seeing the north being held from Chimera's Panther tank. He's holding the opening from the garrison in the swamp just north of the small house in just the top end of Win 4. And meanwhile, while this infantry from Glow is pushing from Grandma's house in the south, we are seeing Chimera respond to that appropriately, filling the trenches and manning all the openings in the barbed wire to the south side of Win 4. Artillery also starting to come in on those crucial areas. I think that back on Hill 5, we're still going to see that artillery hitting the garrison right on the point, and that garrison is actually gone now. So they have been doing some work to try to take that out, and the garrison needed to be replaced, and it just got moved over here. Looks like Assidious is just kind of staying on defense, making sure somebody's home to make sure something is always active on the point. But Chimera Jam making his way into the strong point. He's going to try to clear out the strong point. He picks up a couple of outposts, see if he can find that garrison and stop Glow and 13th Legion and Glow G13 from being able to fall back and defend this point. He's almost there. This is not looking good. 3 guys come in, picks up 1, 2, injures the 3rd, and he trades while still bleeding. Screaming Meme in it for the win.
We got a few things.
That garrison.
Things going on.
He's coming down right next to him, and he survives. Oh my god!
Oh, look at that coming in. That's brilliant stuff. Let's get over to your screen and have a look at that. You can see a tank coming in up the north here, mate, as well. Love it. Oh,
yeah,
look at that.
This is a serious push, I think, happening now on Hill 5. Like it's not huge yet, but they are very close to finding that garrison. For sure, it's marked by now, and we're going to see a lot more pressure happening on that, especially if Panic can pop out and send a rocket to it. It's going to get destroyed, and it looks as though he is looking towards it right now.
Just
I'm not sure he's aware that it's there.
Just saw a kill down south here, mate. While we were in close on your screen, 76 came in and smashed a Panzer IV, and I'm watching that on mine now, where Entice is down south. Entice being the Gary builder that's running around the back lines of the G13 area. So a Greyhound and a 76 ganged up on a Panzer IV, and they won the day. That Greyhound now is going to cause a little bit of trouble trying to clear out that infantry south of where we're talking about, south of Hill 5. There's 3 tanks, actually, mate. You've got another one in here. That's a 75 as well that's pushing in. So you've got 3.
Oh, big play by Panic. Sorry to interrupt, but Chimera Panic, huge play, gets into the strong point, kills Assidious, and takes out the garrison just before getting shot. So Fender is here to replace that garrison. If he has supplies, let's see, he's got his watch out. Does he have enough supplies to put that down right away? Looks like Misfit is nearby. He might be able to assist. Fender can't find the supplies. He's looking for somebody to supply him with a garrison, and a huge artillery round comes in. And actually, that was probably a satchel that was left behind, judging from the kill radius, just to ensure that garrison is going to go down and stay down. So
just quickly, mate,
Chimera taking the point and starting cap.
While we're looking at that, and there's some interesting stuff going on up here. Mister has finally got himself past that northern house to the garrison, the G13 garrison. So he's just taking that out now. There's artillery landing next to him, but finally, after a good hour of play almost, that garrison up north is fallen. Excuse me. And Chimera hold the northern house. Zerg Hunter's coming in with a rocket or a satchel, who knows what. Help is pushing out towards the front lines of the G13 guys, as we see a bunch of Chimera respawn. They've pushed out from the Bunnings area again now. They've stopped the push coming from the south. It's sort of traded equally at the moment, where the Dolphins coming in there, and Richard and Nick C coming in from that southern house area. So it's sort of stabilising a bit up here now. Chimera are getting their front lines out from the Bunnings buildings themselves and actually into the trenches. Here's a bombing run coming in. Don't know whose this is. We've seen some pretty shit bombing runs today, to be honest.
Let's look at the maps and see. Looks like it will be a defensive bombing run once again from G13 on Hill 5. So that's what we're hearing right now come over. It doesn't pick up a whole lot, though. Chimera still has a good presence. At least four guys in the strong point right now. Night Fox, Little Ups, Fender, squad leaders back to protect on the defense. Meanwhile, Chimera squad leader Entice is riding on the medium Sherman, making sure they know where that is. A couple rockets coming in from the southeast from Jinx to try to take out that medium, but he did not succeed. OG Panda copping that tank. We also had 76 circling Hill 5 paired up with that guy, but I'm not quite sure where he went. I think that he may have just been destroyed up in the north. There's
a lot going on Hill 5 right now, man. There's rounds coming in from up the north. That looks like what is that tank? That's an allied tank as well. So they're shooting the infantry on Hill 5, and those tanks have just saved Hill 5 for G13 because the Chimera infantry were actually capturing the point there. But the tanks have managed to save them. But there's still, look at rockets coming in from the back here from Caledonians. The spawn wave from G13 that's coming in. And now, there's an OP on the point now from Chimera as well. There's an airhead, mate. I've got an airhead coming in. Chimera have dropped.
Oh my God, I'm going to get on that airhead for you for sure. I can see it coming down. It looks like the Jumbo 76 might be able to see it in the sky. So we'll see what happens when it lands. That is definitely your airhead. So
oh, absolutely.
This is 100%. Looks like it's going to be able to spawn in if that tank can't snipe it. Tank did not see it. And this is going to be a huge spawn wave. Massive tank round from the north. Looks like that Jumbo. Oh, it wasn't that. Something hit it. Some kind of tank hit it from
good shot
somewhere.
Yeah,
you know what it was? It was this tank here. The light tank on the bunker in North HQ saw that airhead land and he sniped it from the north side of the map. Amazing.
How on earth did he get up there?
You can just crawl up. First gear, you go from the back. It's just a little lip, and you're up onto the bunker. No problem.
Oh my goodness me! Would never have even.
Yeah, this is where they park it to hit the artillery guns, and it looks like he's going to turn back right now, and we're going to see some shots. So I'm going to show you where that's hitting because he's screaming all the way across this to the middle HQ, and we can see his rounds going in right now and killing a vehicle in the spawn that's blocking that shot on the arty guns. It looks like they just made a wall to protect their arty guns.
Hang on a minute, I want to get across to your screen there, mate, and have a look at that.
Yeah, there is nothing special about this build. Just park trucks in the way. Let's not waste engineers' time and precious supplies. Let's just park things and try to block these shots as best as possible. And as the corpses get destroyed from the rounds, we're just going to keep driving new tanks in. And I believe that tank is just going to be killing the bottom two guns while a separate shot needs to happen for the north.
That's amazing, mate. I didn't even know this was happening. He's actually just driven off the top of the thing. But, okay, so this has been going on for quite a while, I'm guessing, in the match. That tank's been up there shooting, and the Chimera guys have put a whole bunch of trucks there to stop the shots. I mean, those trucks will disappear after a while, but they're good enough, aren't they?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, can we look at the maps real quick? Because I see a huge presence right now from Chimera on the strong point on Hill 5. A couple of tanks from Allies still defending it, but it looks as though the point is clear from the map on the G13 team. But
zoom
as
in
we
a bit
know,
there, mate.
It is not.
Just zoom us in a little bit if you can, please, so we can see those tanks a little better.
Zoom in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So here we go.
Look at
That's what you're looking at. So heavy up top in the north while the medium's pushing towards Chapel, and full squad from Chimera in the southeast side of Hill 5 strong point. But there's nothing indicating that for G13, so they're going to need to get eyes on and maybe get some infantry marks down, let them know that there's still something back there before that tank absolutely vacates the point. I'd like to see a tighter line from G13 right now. Chimera doing some damage, and we want G13 to be able to comb through the point thoroughly without any, any gaps, right?
Well, we've got two tanks from Chimera, two heavies on the map there. You can see them up north. They're more on defense at the moment than attack, because it's interesting here that with all of that stuff going on for G13 around the point, they are still losing, and they're in a bit of trouble here, man. There's a good spawn wave though. So that garrison there on the left of screen, right now I'm just circling in on it, just spawned about 8 people. That is the saving garrison, and it always comes down to clutch garrisons, doesn't it? So this one garrison right now is stopping the cap from Chimera, but if Chimera take that garrison out, that's enticed, he knows it's there. If he gets around and actually picks it up, which I doubt he's going to be able to do against that many people, but hey, you never know. If that garrison goes with the cap weight that Chimera have got here, G13 will be in a lot of trouble. Their trade at the moment is probably about even. Look at that panic just trimming them down. He's killed 4 or 5 in a row there, mate. Holy hell.
Oh,
so there's a lot of trouble. Look at it. He's killed so many that the cap is going back in Chimera's favour. So in about 20 seconds, maybe 10 seconds, there'll be another spawn wave off of that garrison, which will throw it back to G13, of course. But, oh, geez, I tell you what, they're in a bit of trouble here. And we know that Chimera, well, they've lost their garrisons around the back there now. We've still got that one down south that's doing well. But every time this happens, it sucks the absolute guts out of the G13 attack, doesn't it, Pepper?
Oh, yeah, every time. I mean, it gives a full reset, but it's good to see G13 being a newer team. They're learning that we need to prioritize the defense. They may overreact a little bit, but at least they're not going to get 5-0'd or 4-1. They are going to make sure that they come out of the match with dignity, and that's where we see them start to learn how to reestablish that line faster and push forward as a team faster. Right now, it's probably still working on those communication channels, and you know, you're going to have overreactions, too many people coming back because they haven't really figured out how to communicate exactly how many and who is going to fall back.
Yeah, I don't think they're doing it too bad right now, though, man. To be honest with you, they've thrown back about as many people as I think they needed there, given the pressure that was on the point, and the fact that they've got people like Panic or Cheese or Jinx. I don't know who's killing there, but they're just picking off all of the glow. I mean, look, they threw that many people back just then. They're still losing the point. So I think they're putting enough back because the quality right now of there's a couple of Chimera players on that point right now, mate, that are having the match of their lives. I would absolutely be interested to see some of the stats at the end of this match because they are just slaughtering. But they are throwing enough back, and they are still keeping some pressure up here on the north. And I think we've got an airhead coming in from G13, mate. I've got an airhead coming in around the back. This is a good airhead.
That's going to be huge.
Oh, no,
it's going to be huge. Oh, is it? Yeah, it's going to get caught right away. There's no way that's going to come to fruition. They're dropping it where really they don't have any control.
There was a rocket in the air. Did you see that?
Yeah, that is possible, though. If you hit it while it's dropping, it can be taken out. Same with the supplies. So, you know, good attempt at that. But, you know, out of G13, we want to see them have smokes on the area and some infantry presence to guard the airhead before they send stuff in.
Well, there's two ways there you can do it, though, Pep. You can either have a distracting airhead, which I don't think it really achieved that very well. There was only a couple of people went back there, and they controlled that area so much, and there's no pressure up there at the moment from G13 that it didn't really distract anything. Or the other one, of course, is actually used as the viable deploy option. And as you just said, you know, what do you need for that to work?
Yeah, I mean, what we see successfully is artillery is going to do a huge smoke barrage so that the area is really tough to see, and then they're going to drop the airhead, and anybody that's coming out after it, it's going to get bombed the second that airhead lands. So they want to time the bombing run to hit the same time the airhead does. And that way it'll clear off the airhead, you'll have infantry alive in the area with smokes all around it, and if you can get even one wave off, that can be the difference. Now it looks like...
it's on, Pepper. It's on. There's a double cap.
Chimera's still capping, but yeah, we have a cap race. Now there are double tanks in the north for, oh my God, Chimera. There's a 76 in the back about to take out one of the northern garrisons on the midpoint. This 76 is alone, but doing a huge play right now. 3-man with Anders, Lil Stitch, and Purple. They got one rocket from Coco, but there is also a Panther in the north side of the point turning around, and he's going to have a look at that and see if he can snipe that 76. And I believe there was a second Panther. We'll have to take a look at your map if you can pull it open for me.
Well, no, I need to point out something to you. I need to point out something to you right now, mate. There is a cap going on here on Hill 5, and I think Chimera are going to pick this up. So whilst we're watching your screen just briefly on that 76 up the top there or whatever's going on, there's a spawn save wave, though. That's a save wave right now on the point from G13. That garrison
is going up. Keep it going.
That garrison is huge. Whatever's going on there, if Chimera take that garrison out, then it's all over here on Hill 5 for G13. This is an absolutely clutch garrison. They are getting flying to hell, though. Jam and Milk. There's the lungs going. Jam and Milk coming around the back there. Oh, this is tight, and it's going back to Chimera's place. This is such a huge play right now. G13 really need to throw some bodies at this. They are in all sorts of trouble here, mate. Absolutely in trouble, Pepper. What do? Where they got this? They got a spawn right there, holding on tight. Oh, right. Holy Jesus, wetbags. It just took out everything, including the spawn point. But it's still like another capping.
Survivor. This is not looking good for G13. They need to pull that tank back. And they are defending, but that Jumbo 76, I think, overextended. He needed to be on the defense. Looks like he just got destroyed in the north. He got caught in the open field by the house. We just caught that action. Not sure who got the kill. Probably the Panther that's across the field. Nope, that Panther got killed, so we missed that Jumbo 76. And looks like there's infantry getting a kill on the Panther, but lost his tank in the process. Meanwhile, massive blue waves coming back for G13 on the point. They have alternate garrisons up from that one in the middle. So looks like they're going to defend the point just on the skin of their teeth on this.
Oh, that was a hang on, and that garrison, mate, a clutch garrison, so that it had moved. It was this garrison that whatever was in here that got destroyed by someone while we were watching something else. There was another garrison that was placed here. It actually just saved the point for Hill 5 for G13, and now there's an OP there. There's still no garrison on there, but they've thrown all the bodies back and managed to. Oh, mate, they managed to stop this Chimera push, but geez, they left it to the last second. Great play, great rocket there from, I don't even know who it was on the Chimera team, but there's still a lot of pressure here on the point. Let's do that map thing you want to do right now, man. I'm sorry, but that was huge what was happening just then.
We need to see what's going on the map right now. That's huge flanking garrison in the south, still alive and well from Chimera. 3 OPs surrounding Hill 5. This is not clear yet. On the map for G13, we're seeing a little bit of, a couple OPs light up, but really they don't have a whole lot to detect any kind of pressure in the H column. And that's where it looks like most of the Chimera team is pushing from. So we're going to want to see them clear all the way to that back line before they leave the point again. There's 22 minutes left in the game. We need to see a huge play now out of G13 to flip this point back the other way. I'm not seeing anything right now, but it looks like we do have maybe a transport and a Greyhound leaving South HQ. They might be able to get around and do a wide flank and set something up. We do have a garrison for G13 in Echo 7 as well, which will serve just about the same way that the Golf 7 garrison is serving Chimera. So, equal points. And now that medium tank is locking out the flanking garrison in the south. So,
but it doesn't know it's there. I don't reckon it knows it's there, or does it? We'll see what happens to it. They roll right past it and just keep pushing forward. And they know the garrison to the north is lit. So you know there's infantry around here, but you can't really drive in there. Oh, that garrison now is locked. That's a good push here. This center area, I think G13 have definitely had the upper hand in this center area. But the trouble is they haven't been able to do both at the same time. They haven't been able to control this center sector. I'm just going to go back to main screen. Sorry about that. They haven't been able to hold the center sector and the north sector at the same time for an attack. When they've done that, they've been able to get into the point and really force Chimera into a lot of trouble, and they've had to throw a big defensive wave in to stop that. But for most of this, they've either controlled one or the other, and they gradually push up through here, through the south, where I'm looking at on my screen now. But it doesn't. It's not enough. They get in the point. They give it a little bit of a tickle, maybe a little bit of a blink, but then Chimera just stop it. Chimera certainly have had the run of play here when it comes to the southeast area. They've brought this garrison down here, down the south, to good effect, and that's been the biggest problem for G13, because what happens is that one of those big attacks goes on Hill 5, and G13 have to throw everything at it to try and stop whatever the hell Chimera are doing, and it's been tight twice now. It's been very tight twice. G13 have responded very, very well, and they've managed to shut down the attack. But then Chimera just spend the next 5 minutes rinsing and repeating. They've got that garrison down south. They throw in a couple of squad leaders like Entice, Butterdog. They come up with stuff. They come and put OPs up close to the point. They grind their way in. And then all of a sudden, bam, swarm wave, and it's on again, isn't it? And this north area here that Chimera have been trying to push out from Bunnings and take, has been very, very well defended from G13. They have not lost this area that I've seen at all. Chimera have taken that centre area that I'm looking at on my map now, where Zerg Hunter's running across towards a couple of times. But they haven't taken this north area here. So I guess that's the next play from Chimera's perspective, is they can keep doing everything to the south okay, and that's fine, but G13 are going to respond to it like they have been and shut it down probably every time. So maybe a bit of a difference in play coming in from the north here, because they have a few attack lines they can come in from. G13 just blew up something up to the north there. From a G13 perspective, control of this sector up here is vitally important, and they've got to keep pushing to that north area where Kelta the Blackjack are to try and get round to that north house again. This center area, not as important, but they've still got to throw some stuff in. Hill 5 defence, well, that's got to stay where it is and keep pushing. And this centre church area here, they've got to try and take back, but they have been pushed out. I don't think, Pepper, I don't think G13 are going to be able to come back from this, because Chimera now are too deep and too set up in their defensive line. They are really pushed out from the point they have multiple layered options, and they've got constant pressure now on Hill 5. Is there anything you would do differently right now if you were leading this G13 team rather? What would you do, mate, to try and change the balance in favour?
Yeah, for sure. I would be definitely making sure that the south side of Hill 5 is clear. They've done a great job at pushing back towards the beach and clearing out the north approach, but that flanking garrison is just a thorn in their side. So they got to get rid of that and then establish the front line. I also would be making sure that those tanks are staying back as long as possible until we have enough tanks that they can move up together. And we're seeing them kind of spread out and get different angles and different positions. And generally for allies, you want to see the tanks grouped together so that if they do encounter a heavy or a panther from the Axis team, they can take it on head to head without having to worry about yeah, exactly, right? So you're able to split the damage, you're able to double up on hitting that enemy tank, and chances are that the Panther's going to have repairs too, so you definitely need that extra gun to upkeep the damage before it gets repaired for the next shot. So I mean, right now Chimera is starting their cap weight once again on Hill 5. Lots of Chimera infantry pouring into the strong point. They may end up holding this. We got 15 minutes left. G13 needs to be patient here. They can't throw it in quite yet, but they need to get this defense off and pull something real quick if they have a hope and flip in the middle point once again. But they absolutely need to defend, and hold this point until they have a really good flanking OP or garrison that they can use on
just watching what we were talking about with tanks right now. So Candy Rocks, the engineer, has been on the top of this Panther, and she's actually setting up, waiting for some supplies and setting up almost like a pillbox position here for the Panther. The Panther has overwatch fire on Hill 5, 583 meters away. Well, actually, let's do it exactly. 570 meters away. It can shoot Hill 5 from where it's currently sitting, and that's huge. There's a repair station going in now on this tank, and there's a barricade going up. Candy Rocks is sitting on top of the tank now, and she is the permanent limpet stuck to that tank, providing defense from infantry. And they are at that northern house. They are at the northern house, and so this is over here for G13. Unless they can throw a tank or something at it, or a precision strike would actually get rid of that. I think Candy Rocks just respawned, actually. She's going to come in as supply. Mav's up there to support her. So what I talked about 10 minutes ago, Chimera are now doing, they're controlling that sector and they're pushing people out from it, which means G13 are now pushed back 200 metres from where they want to be, trying to fight their way across open fields. So, yeah, the real trouble there for them. And shouts to everybody in the stream that's chatting away there. I'm not reacting or engaging with it today, but great to see so many people that I haven't seen for a while in there looking at this. And it is a great battle to play. It's not over. It's definitely not over for anybody here right now. G13, I keep saying G15. G13 can absolutely come back here, Pepper. There's no doubt. But they've got a lot of pressure still on Hill 5 that I'm watching all over the place. And it's really just draining their energy, trying to deal with it. They're running around a Stewart. I can see there on the 3 o'clock position on my screen. They're running all sorts of stuff around, trying to clean up this annoying set of mosquitoes that are blue on my screen, running around trying to kill stuff. That's what it must feel like, hey, mate?
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty much like an infantry with armor on, right? Like you're not really a tank in this thing, but he's trying to look for this flanking garrison, do some damage, and clear out the sector so that they can do something offensively with some purpose, right? I think all the big pressure that G13 has been able to put on the point has been thwarted by this counter cap happening on Hill 5, and so they're hoping that this Stewart can finish that once and for all, and they can get something happening on Win 4. Looks like their infantry is putting quite a bit of pressure on Win 4, but this isn't enough to start a cap. Meanwhile, they're going to lose the point, so they need to fall back once again, and they're not putting a strong enough line on the back of the point and sweeping through, and that's kind of what I keep stressing on with this team is, when they're defending, they need to establish a line so that they can comb a sector and not miss a thing, so that it's completely clear, and that way their front line can keep anybody from crossing it, and then you can have minimal defenders catching the one or two things that are coming up in the back. But if you have more than one spawn point, the defense needs your front line to come back and help clear that out, or else this is what happens, right? Just constant pressure. We're halfway. Can we look at the maps and see what the side-by-side actually looks like right now for each team. All the garrisons are up for G13, but they are running hot. Unlocked flanking garrison from Chimera with 4-5 outposts in the sector. They're going to have some serious progress. You got some supplies coming down from Chimera to get a garrison up right away. Reinforce has gone down just now for G13, so they're going to try to hold on to that just a little while longer. G13
this is trouble.
Built a garrison up close too, so this is not looking good right now.
No, and I'm watching just, if you look,
battle.
right inside of, I'll go back to the right thing. Right hand side there, we had a recon tank, the Puma, shooting in towards where G13 are trying to come in and defend the point. We had a Stuart shooting in from the southwest to the spawn waves coming in from Chimera. So it's the light tanks that are actually providing suppressive fire for the two spawn waves coming in. G13 have their players are outplaying the Chimera guys on the point. That's a great spawn wave from that garrison there. That saved that again.
That's huge. Yeah, that's again hero garrison saving the point. Massive redeploy. But you know, this balances the point temporarily. We need this line to establish across the entirety of the sector and sweep through it to clear it out. But I mean, with 11 minutes left in the game, I think that what they need, what they really need right now is to just throw strategy out the window and finish the cap and get a half track or something, some kind of
bombing run. Here's a bombing run.
Presence and win 4. Big bombing run. Okay, let's go have a look and see what that
but
is.
It's only picking up. It's only taking out. It took out one infantry. It's not going to hit garrison or anything, and it's coming from. Oh, there's 2 infantry died to try and help the push from the south. But the thing is, most of the push was stopped by Chimera. There's only 2 G13 guys on the point right now, and neither of them has a satchel. So the bombing run didn't do anything at all, to be honest, except kill 2 infantry. And Chimera are going to be able to probably clean those 2 guys up. They've got 5 players there from Chimera able to kill those 2.
What is the garrison situation right now on Win 4? Looks like you guys
don't
have any defending garrisons.
It's locked. It just got taken out by OG Panda. But the commander of Chimera is literally right on the ground, killing Panda and setting up a new garrison in the building.
Oh, no.
So
amazing.
It's all of that has come to nothing from G13. It wasn't a very good play there because it didn't have anything supporting it. Those 2 guys got in and took out a garrison. Well done to them. The bombing run did nothing really.
Huge Chimera presence on the back of Hill 5 now. Looks like they're defending Hill 5, but Chimera has something serious happening back here. I don't know if it was just OP presence or I mean, I don't see the Puma.
There's two full squads just walked in. The Lupus is right there next to the Puma, mate.
Puma's right on the point. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys have a tank on the point. Lots and lots of infantry. I don't see a hero garrison saving this one. This is not good.
This is bad.
They have 1 garrison on the front side of Hill 5 that might still serve them as a huge defensive wave. But with this tank here, this is really not looking good now.
Well, that tank will die pretty quick to... It'll die pretty quick to an AT player. It's shooting up to the northeast there towards Tear Green at the moment. Someone just killed poor old Night Fox, who was there defending by himself as a squad leader. He's probably put his OP down. I'm expecting...
The big wave.
What was that just died? Oh, there. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's 20 players. But they're still losing the point. And look at that. Entice Lupus and Jinx now are putting out pressure towards the west. Electro coming in behind as a spotter. Oh, this is trouble. This is trouble now for G13. They are not going to have enough here. This is going to come down to the last second if they don't have every single player spawned in on that garrison, which is still there. Which Electro is, he's flanking it. He's on the garrison. They have to defend that garrison. They have to defend it. He's taken an OP down. The garrison is now locked. This is going to go towards Chimera. Chimera have finally, after an hour of play, taken out Hill 5 in the clutch of the battle. 8 minutes to go. The garrison's down. It's Chimera's Hill 5. That's going to have to be game 4. Glow 13, they are not going to capture back Hill 5 and win 4 unless they do something miraculous. What a play from Chimera. They have ground away at this point, haven't they, Pepper?
That was incredible. That clutch recon spotter getting in there and taking out the garrison just before that next wave came off of it. Chimera kept the pressure on. That flanking garrison paid off at the end. I want to take another look at those side-by-side maps and see how well the redeploy is going right now for G13 on the beach. Looks like a couple of tanks from Chimera pushing the beach now. Recon tank just went down by your Gulf squad, but the heavy is still there right next to him, ready to go and keep this battle pushing. They might even get a quick 5-0 out of here if if G13 does not defend quick enough. And we do have a heavy coming up the beach from Chimera. We're gonna have a heavy. Yeah, let's get behind your heavy, and we'll watch for that airhead, but let's get behind your heavy right away here and see this fight, because they are really close to one another. Your heavy up on the beach on the north side, pushing into the last point right now, but face to face with the Jumbo 76.
Right, I'm in there now and having a look at that. That Panther finally, it's been on defense for a very long time. It's pushed out. Here it goes, looking at the 76. You can see that mark. They know it's there. The commander's watching. That tank's trying to shoot its infantry as well. What a play there, though. What a play. And G13 just finally got pushed out. It's been great work from Chimera there. That tank's now getting smashed. There's a rocket in its ass. It's got everything on it here.
Oh, the 76 got one pen through the hedgerow into the front of him, through all that smoke and everything. Meanwhile, looks like a Glow Zerg Hunter getting a satchel on the back of that Panther. Does he get it in time? It goes on the ground. Crew member comes out and kills him. Where did the satchel end up? Did it end up on the tank? Did he get that down? It is. It's on the tank. It's on the front shoulder of the tank right now. We have about halfway. That means 15 seconds to go. If he doesn't start dismantling that right away, that satchel is going to take care of that Panther tank. And the 76 still alive.
It's all happening. It's all happening here. Kanoski has not seen that. He's not seen it. There he goes. Bam, he's gone. Actually, just to tell you, mate, the rocket from the G13 team actually killed their own teammate there. That's what happened there. It wasn't the guy from the tank that shot him. It was actually a rocket from the north of the map. Great kill on that Panther, though. That was a really good satchel. That's how you do it. Aim for one end of the tank, and you'll get the other end if it's moving slow. There's a really big play coming in, though, right now from Chimera to close this game off. We saw an airhead drop on Hill 5, and they've got a garrison there as well. So there's a defensive airhead that's been put on Hill 5, and the point's starting to turn, mate. The Chimera guys have got a big spawn wave coming in onto Tear Green, and G13 are really in trouble here for a 5-0 loss. It's possible that, what's that Greyhound up to, mate? It's on Hill 5 trying to attack, isn't it?
Yeah, right now I'm actually watching the Greyhound try to get some pressure on Hill 5 from the south, but he has one rocket right in the front of his turret, and Chimera is backing him away. And yeah, we did see Chimera tickling the point on Tear Green. They have a huge presence from the south. They're making their way over the beachhead, and I think Chimera might end up with a last-minute 5-0.
Yeah.
You know, G13 might want to just.
Well, they got to look at it right now, mate.
Keep some dignity.
Look at it right now, mate. There is a garrison and a bunch of OPs there, and the recon has gone up from Chimera. They know where all the G13 guys are, and that's a huge spawn wave gone in there from Chimera. They've got 3 squads pushing their way in. G13 they're not on Hill 5 right now, and they're not on Tear Green. I can see a whole bunch of G13 there on the right of screen. They're not going to be doing anything there right now when their last point's being capped. Big spawn waves coming in from the north. There we've got pressure going in on Hill 5. This is going to be a little bit tight here in the last 4 minutes of battle. It's a third of the way through on the last point for Chimera's cap, but Hill 5 is now starting to fall from G13 are starting to cap that as well. However, Chimera still have a garrison there. They're throwing a few people at it. The west of Hill 5 is a little bit of trouble there. Win 4 down south of that's in a bit of trouble, but that's pointless right now being anywhere near Win 4. You have to be here on either the last point or the second last point, because if you want to save a little bit of dignity, there's 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes to go, and Chimera are trying for a 5-0. They are over halfway on the cap here. Pepper, it's real trouble for G13. They have got to throw everything at this right now, don't they?
Yeah, you know, I think this could go either way. They could end up balancing with dignity with a 3-2, or we're going to see a 5-0 in the last minute from Chimera. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm really hoping G13 can hold off. They're spawning huge waves of the garrison on the beach, but it's just not enough. Chimera is still taking the point. It looks like they have a much bigger presence inside the strong point, which is what's keeping the point capping in their direction. I'm not seeing...
They're not going to... Oh, there's a spawn wave! All right!
They have enough cap progress on Hill 5 that if they do Hill 5, they could blitz the middle and still win. This is not over. They have 1 minute left to finish capping Hill 5. It's going to take just over a minute to cap it. I think they're just now crossing that barrier where they no longer can win, but they still can pull out a defense as a 3-2 to save face against Chimera, which is arguably one of the best teams in this minors league right now. They go toe-to-toe with TL and all these big NA squads and some Euro squads and Friday night fights. These guys really are not an opponent that you want to make any mistakes with, because they will exploit it. And G13 looking to hold on to a 1 at the end of this.
Yeah, so Chimera have thrown enough back here. I'm just going to whip back in and have a look at what actually happened there. You can see some sort of tank shooting in on Hill 5. Not sure whose that is. I think it's a G13 tank, and there's a bit of pressure still on the point as G13 try and cap it here. But the Chimera guys have got enough cap weight on there. They're going to hold it. Most of the G13 guys had to come back up to the north here and defend Fair Green. We can see a tank, a Luke's tank coming around the back. They're bloody nasty little things against infantry as it comes in and shells the shit out of the point. There's 2 minutes to go. G13 are going to hold on to Fair Green just enough with those spawn modes that came in. That Luke's tank is now stuck, or could be stuck in a trench. It's trying to do whatever it can here to shred a few infantry and take that 5-0 win. But, it's indicative here of the type of game it's been, mate, that we spent so long commentating around win 4, which is the centre point of this match. So much of this match went around win 4. And then finally, finally we saw the point turn in the last 20 minutes or so, where Hill 5 was captured by Chimera, which then opened up what's occurring now, of course. But, G13, very much to their credit, have taken it to the wire for Chimera. It doesn't really matter what the scoreboard shows at the end of this match. This was a close battle, ladies and gentlemen. This was one of the tightest matches so far, if not the tightest match I've seen. It 3 of 3 in this competition that I've streamed. And look, kudos to G13 for such a big fight against the Chimera guys and girls, who have effectively now, with 40 seconds to go, we know it's Chimera's victory here. It will be a 4-1 victory to Chimera. But as I said, that scoreboard is not indicative of the fight that we've just watched, ladies and gentlemen. Pepper, your commentary on that, please, mate.
Oh, tipping my hat to G13 for holding on. They definitely improved from the past 2 games that they played in this season, in respect to their infantry. Their armor had crews building and repair stations every time I looked at their armor, so that's a huge improvement as well. AT guns going up in the point. A couple times they got caught with nobody home, and that AT gun went down right when we needed it. But, definitely the huge infantry fallbacks when it was necessary. They held on to the points as long as they could, and we had ourselves a nice back and forth. And middle point was owned by both teams. Fourth point had cap pressure from both teams, and there was a good back and forth happening pretty much that whole game. So huge props to G13 and Chimera for putting on an amazing match.
All right, I'm going to give my point to Entice for MVP. There were a couple of people in the back lines that did a lot of work, but Entice was the one that absolutely worked the back of the map there, which helped them cap Hill 5. So well done there, mate. I'm just going to scroll through the tab screen here and show everybody what we've actually got in relation to the squads of both teams now, which is, of course, something we can do. I got 10,000 experience for that, mate, just by existing in that game. How good has it been a streamer? All right. So having a look at some of the squads here. Sidious, of course, was the commander of the G13 guys there. Looking down through some of the numbers here. For everybody, just to get that chance to have a bit of a look and see how your favourite players went. But what a match, man. What a great match to cast. And look, I've really enjoyed your company here, Peps. It's been great. We had a chat about this, I think it was Thursday or Friday, was it? And we decided that we would do a dual stream.
Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. It seems time flies, though.
It was a long week last week. So we decided we'd do a dual stream, see how she went. I think it went pretty well, man. It was great fun. And watching both screens like that as we did was really, really value-adding, hopefully, for the viewers at home. So thank you, sir, for joining me on this one. And I thank your viewers for listening to my voice in the background. And I hope you enjoy being part of my stream, and I hope you enjoyed having me in your stream.
Yeah, hey, I really enjoyed your commentary. It was great having the dual cams, and I think we did a great job at the production too. We covered everything. I think that we kept our cameras together pretty well throughout the match. What you were talking about was on screen, even on my stream for most of the game, and vice versa. So I think that, I would definitely do this again with you if the opportunity came up. And, once again, thank you so much for sharing this match and giving me the opportunity to cover G13 throughout this match that was assigned to you.
No worries at all, man. All right, I'm going to sign off from you there, good sir, and say thank you very much, and I will catch up with you at some stage into the future.
Okay, and I will do likewise.
All right, good man. All right,
Thanks,
ladies and gentlemen, we will give him a shout out in the stream just there. That was Pepper, of course, who has been really cool in being part of that stream. Let's see if I can close up this screen now. And I'll disconnect there. Excuse me. So, what did we have just then, folks? We had just something really cool to watch, wasn't it? I just loved that. So, the next match that we're going to look at, let's have a look here and see if we can bring it up on screen. We'll put the video screen back on as well there, get that in the background. So, the next match will be the 17th of, what are we at? 1, 2, 3, no, the 10th of September. And I just need to look up who that team is because I can't quite see them there. So it will be the 501 ES. I think they're one of the Spanish teams, actually. So we'll see a different time slot for the stream. So that's good because I need to do soccer with my son on Sunday mornings. It's challenging. So I hope to join you for that one. But what a match! Well done to Chimera for that victory, and what a great match. And commiserations, of course, to the Glow Legion 13 team who really took it right through to the end there. You couldn't want anything more from teams in this competition. So well done there. We'll get ourselves across to a little bit of the background sizzle there. Turn that one off. Turn that down. Okay, so ladies and gents, what I'm going to do there is I'm going to end the stream now. Have we got someone to raid? We will likely have a raid now, so we'll have a look to see what Twitch says, see who we've got lurking with intent for raiding purposes. I might be able to raid Pepper, actually, but look, I might ping someone and see if they'll jump on so we can raid them. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that match. It was obviously a brilliant match to watch, and we'll see you at the next one, shall we? All right, good night, good morning, whatever time of day it is. Happy Father's Day to you. And I'll see you next time, shall I? Bye for now.